So for more than 10 years, Rooster Teeth would host the annual RTX convention, which is basically a Rooster Teeth fan convention, and loads of fans would be flocking to there. They can meet the personality, have fun in various activities, attend panels and all that. It's just a celebration of the brand Rooster Teeth. Now, I already spoke about this, I think, in another video about it, but looking at the images from last year's convention, it just looked considerably less crowded than in previous years. And I mean, there are loads of reasons for that, coronavirus being one of them. But it just felt like, looking at these shots, they were trying to hide that there were no real big crowds there. A lot of the shots of the activities were looking quite empty and all that. Now, don't get me wrong, I wasn't there. I can't speak firsthand whether it was well attended or not. I'm just judging based on these images. But if you look at them, it just doesn't look like it's very crowded, which is a problem if you're doing an event, because if you want to make revenue or any profit on an event, then you need people to be there. So at the time, that already raised some questions about RTX 2024, and just about 20 hours ago, we got an answer to that question. In a statement from Rooster Teeth's general manager, Jordan Levin, I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm sorry, but he sent this email to, I think, loads of fans, right, and internally to people who might be attending a new RTX this year. So it's not a public statement that they released on their Twitter account, for example, but someone was kind enough to take the contents of that email and post it on Reddit. So we're going to go through it. And in this statement, Jordan Levine breaks down why RTX 2024 has been cancelled and won't happen. And to be honest, they're giving good reasons for it. But let's go through the statement and then check some of the responses underneath of the fans and how they perceive this news. So he starts by saying, "Hey y'all, since I've stepped in as the general manager of Rooster Teeth, I have not communicated directly with you, our Rooster Teeth audience and community, save for an occasional cameo in content. I'm not a founder nor a content creator. Rather, I joined Rooster Teeth in 2019 because Matt and Bernie trusted me to help steer the company through change. Change that we are still experiencing, necessitating some difficult decisions, one of which we want to share with you all today." As the company turned 20 this year, a lot of thought was put into what Rooster Teeth is and what we stand for. We started with Red vs. Blue, a passion that turned into the longest running web series of all time. We expanded with Achievement Hunter, a love for gaming that developed into a revolutionary format, multiple offshoots and channels. Then we bloomed with RWBY, a passion that turned into a rich anime universe. The passion encouraged in everyone at this company has allowed us to pioneer what have become many popular formats in the digital entertainment landscape. It's like, get to the point, bro. Please, just say what you want to say. I get it, but it has also allowed us to shift and change with the creator's own interests and adapt to changes in our audience, community, and industry. Recently, you've seen RWBY V9 premiere on Crunchyroll. RTX was revamped. Best Friends Today launched. Stinky Dragon premiered, an entirely puppet-created adventure. And Jeff and Gavin came back to gaming, revitalizing Let's Play. More changes coming. Traditionally, the end of the year is when we share an announcement of RTX, badge sales, and important dates. However, I'm sorry to inform you that we will not be hosting RTX in 2024. We have every intention of resuming RTX in the future and bringing everyone back together. RTX 23 was incredible. The experience, the panels, the memories, everything that went into hosting our convention with the best community out there. But every aspect of that takes a huge investment in the form of work and money. The reality is that RTX has never been profitable for us. Okay, if you say so, I dare to doubt that, but fair enough. It is an opportunity to bring our community together with our company once a year to celebrate all the cool things that we've made with the people who share our interests. And over the years, while the scope and size of the event has increased, so have the time commitments, costs, and losses. So we're going to take some time off to evaluate RTX and decide the best way to move forward with a fresh approach that can make it one hell of a community event again. Yeah, I mean, in the context of everything else around Rooster Teeth and the trajectory, the overall trajectory of the company and how it feels as an outsider looking at it, a lot would have to happen and change for RTX to come back. That's how it feels to me. This is just my interpretation. I mean, I appreciate he's giving people hope with a statement like that, but I think we just have to be realistic about this in terms of feasibility of this ever coming back. I mean, share your thoughts down in the comment section below. Maybe you see a way forward for RTX to come back that I'm not considering right now. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Diving into 2024, our focus, more so than ever, will be on driving increased patronage support in the form of first memberships. Money We need money. There's an assumption that we're rolling in it because we're owned by a large conglomerate, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. We, like so many other content creators out there, rely heavily upon the generosity and support of our audience and community to sustain our creative ambitions. But unlike some others, this isn't one-sided. We've been prioritizing and will continue to prioritize ways to reward first members with perks like extra content, BTS features, exclusive interactions, streams and Discord events with our creators, and more, but not Ruby seasons that are available only for first members, okay? They come exclusive to Crunchyroll, so you're not getting any of that. Like, I just remember that was a decision. Him saying this now feels very much like he's ignoring just what they did not that long ago. But again, that's just my take. We are bringing back fan-favorite content with new episodes of Camp Camp and the final season of Red vs. Blue Restoration. But to do this, in full transparency, we can't make it happen without your direct support. Advertising, especially on our own platform, and revenue sharing from the social media platforms that offer such arrangements are no doubt helpful, but they don't come close to offsetting expenses. As you are likely aware, many digital publishers, creators, and companies posting social media entertainment are struggling. That's why we're not the only ones who are making such direct appeal for patronage support these days. It's also why we are so immensely grateful for the support that we do receive. Like the first 10 years of the company prior to the acquisition, your support or lack of support will ultimately determine what we can and can't do. I want to thank all of you who have read this message. We know there are more options than ever to choose who you support, watch, and listen to. So we are grateful you choose to spend your time with us at Rooster Teeth. Missing a year of RTX will be disappointing, but we know we will come back with something incredible. We are experiencing unique times in the entertainment industry. That's an interesting way of putting it, that's true. And we will continue to meet these challenges with the support of you, our audience, our fans, our community, our first members, and everyone who watches and engages with our content and posts. Thanks for choosing us. We wish all of you happy holidays and a happy new year. Jordan Levin. So first of all, let me say, I appreciate how upfront they are, okay? It does take a bit of balls and transparency to say, we just don't have the money. You know what I mean? That might as well be a strategy to get more first members, you know, getting people to feel really sad for it. Like, oh, they don't even have the money. Let's become a first member. So maybe we get RTX again next year. And don't get me wrong, I certainly hope so, okay? It's not that I don't want RTX to happen. Just in the bigger picture, it really feels like that train has left the station. And when he's like, yeah, we'll do RTX in 2025, there is the question to raise whether this company will still be around at that time. You know, that's just me speculating, obviously, but loads of other people share that opinion. And I understand that he can't say something like this in a statement like that. That makes perfect sense, but the optimism seems slightly too optimistic for me personally. Let's read some of the replies and see what the fans actually have to say to this announcement. Really, I think you revealed a problem we have been seeing for years, but nobody wants to confront it. RTE is too big for what it is now. The first memberships and ad revenue of old were covering all the bills and more, but not today. Or barely. And we were seeing it for years. The push to watch RT on their site instead of YouTube. True. Wave after wave of layoffs. True. The first marathons, like the Uno stream, I have no idea what that stream was, but fair enough. And I think the exclusive push of Ruby to Crunchyroll can be listed here as well. He doesn't list that, but I think that's another point to mention. The cash flow is tight, and it's hard for them to make it all fit for their ambitions. It's a fair point. I think there's not many businesses in the world right now that aren't suffering massively in various ways. Financially, people are being squeezed so much that disposable income is shrinking, and streaming platforms that also have a lot for free on YouTube are always going to be seen as droppable. Well, there's some truth to that, I would say, but there are also many new up-and-coming companies and content creators that are doing very, very well. Okay, so it's not that the industry as a whole, like everyone is suffering. It's true that you can see a change in what kind of content is created, what kind of content is popular, but I think it is much more of a shift in what people like to watch and the kind of content that they want to consume. And to an extent, I think you can make the argument that Rooster Teeth has kind of just missed that train. Funny gameplay videos, for example, like that almost feels like a dead genre compared to where it was a few years ago in terms of popularity. So I think, yes, there are loads of other media companies that are struggling. It's not wrong, but it's very clear that Rooster Teeth just missed that train of change, right? They were struggling to adapt to this new world of content, and they reacted way too late by abandoning formats like Achievement Hunter and so on. At least that's my take. Again, feel free to share your take on this down in the comments. RTX as a whole is a massive undertaking. I'm sure the price to rent the space for it had increased drastically over the last 2 years, and that's just part of it. True, valid point. I do have, if open to it, one suggestion. Keep the panels and just do them digitally. I think that's a good idea, right? That is very low cost. You can get people to ask questions and engage with the fans that way. You still have to pay people for their time. I get that. But I feel like a suggestion like that at least would be a gesture towards the fans, where they're like, yeah, you know, we can't afford RTX this year, but we still want to give back to you guys, and we want to do something that you can engage with. So instead of canceling it completely, we're just scaling it back and doing it digitally. I think that's a valid suggestion. There's an assumption that we're rolling in it because we're owned by a large conglomerate, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. The truth is that's because you are owned by a large conglomerate. Rooster Teeth's income will never be enough because the fat cats keep skimming off the top, because that's what they do. That is what they do in general. I can't speak for Rooster Teeth specifically, and I don't know, you know, this sounds very speculative, whether that is actually a key reason why Rooster Teeth doesn't have enough money to host this convention. But yeah, I think, again, I can't confirm it. It's purely speculative, but it does sound like it might ring some truth to me personally. You know, when the first message is, I haven't talked to you enough from a Rooster Teeth leader, it means something else is being ended. Rest in peace, RTX. Exactly. When you only hear from a leader when things are bad, it doesn't send a great message overall. True. Reminds me whenever there was big drama and suddenly Jeff shows up on the Rooster Teeth podcast or off topic, you know shit is gonna go down. Yeah, it very much feels like Rooster Teeth, and especially like the upper management and leadership like Jeff and stuff, they're kind of staying under the radar for most of the time, hoping that nothing escalates and trying to keep it all together. But then when they step up, you know, something is not great. But anyway, guys, I'm not going to read all the comments. That's basically the news. RTX 2024 is not happening. It's been cancelled. It's sad. I don't want to take anything away from Rooster Teeth fans, and I still hope that we'll get it back in the future. But as I said before, my personal outlook on that is not exactly optimistic. But guys, leave your thoughts on this down in the comment section below. Maybe we can turn this into kind of an RTX memory lane. Share your most fun and memorable moments from RTX conventions that you may have attended in the past down in the comments. I'm really curious to hear them. I never went to an RTX, but I'm sure during peak Rooster Teeth times, it was a lot of fun. All right, so that's it from me today. I hope you enjoyed the little video and learned something. If you did, don't forget to smash the like button. Also, if you want to continue the Rooster Teeth conversation, we have a community Discord. The link to that is down in the description. It's a lovely community. I'm hanging out there as well. And you can talk about video games, Rooster Teeth, anything you want really. Click the link. It's free. Join the community. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. I see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves. I'm out. Bye.